I made it to the Philippines, but because Manila was too hot, I knew I wanted to go north. So I'm here at the Mount Pulag because I arrived here with no plan really. So I just saw it on a map and did a little bit of research, and I realized that that's the highest mountain in this northern big island called Luzon. Hello. Yeah, so I just decided I want to climb it because I come from Slovenia, the land of mountains. And because I come from Slovenia, I also imagined somehow that climbing is gonna be similar to Slovenian, when you just pick a mountain, just go there, hike it, and that's it. But coming here is not as easy, number one, because you have to have these little shuttles that costs a lot of money. And then coming here, I learned I need some medical certificate to prove I'm physically capable to climb this mountain. So that's the local hospital. Yeah. And the way they test this, you're not gonna believe it. I thought it was a joke first, and we had a little dispute about it. I just refused to believe it's true, but it's turned out it's a real thing. So the way you need to do it is you need to do 100 jumping jacks. Yes, 100 jumping jacks. That's the proof that you are physically capable, that you can hike the tallest mountain in Luzon. And it doesn't matter what kind of jumping jacks you're doing. You can do just like pa, 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 and that's it. They don't care at all. Nobody counts it. Nobody pays attention to what you're doing. What the hell? So that's why this test was just so ridiculous to me, and I refused to do it at first because I thought it was a joke. But then when they assured me it was not a joke, I really had to prove it. So, and I did 100 proper jumping jacks. I insisted they monitor and count it. So I was feeling I wasn't being fooled at. So yeah, I actually did that. That was the most bizarre request I've gotten. There's some kids following me here. God knows where they came from. That's the most bizarre request I had in all of this almost 6 months trip, I think so. I just refused to believe it's true, but apparently it was true. And you have to pay for that, of course. People say Philippines is Southeast Asia, oh, that's cheap, but what? Philippines is the most expensive country by far in Southeast Asia, rooting out Singapore, of course. Everything here is almost European price, which is crazy. Coming from Europe, I would still think it's cheap, but coming from Indonesia, when I could pay 80 cents for a full meal, and here I pay 10 euros, that's quite a difference, right? Anyway, so now I'm here. And then after this medical certificate, you have to go for a briefing, a mandatory briefing. They would play a prepared video of motivational music and scenic views. It's like 20 minutes long, and all the history of the mountain. And after that there'll be a lady that will do a whole presentation about the mountain, and she should be like, Mount Pulag is a very unique mountain. We have different type of vegetations, this kind of animals, and this whole thing would go for like 1 hour, maybe even 2 hours. And then after that briefing, it's like room full of people. Many people want to climb this. After that, you have to pay again for the entrance fee, which is ridiculously expensive again. I asked for student discount, and they were just like, okay, we give you 20% off, just like that. Everything here is just whatever they feel like. That's the Southeast Asian thing, but Philippines charge for everything. Nothing is free here. They also told me that Filipino people are the kindest in the world, and they do everything, which is not from my experience so far. I haven't been here long, about a week or so, but so far my Filipino experience are not the greatest on my travels, let me tell you that. But of course I'm gonna give it a chance. It's a nice country and everything, but everything is expensive. That bothers me also. And people don't really do stuff for you, they do if you pay. That's a freaking, yeah, it's a storm coming.
Yes.
Another big great another another amazing thing that's happening right now. It's like 30 minutes of drive to that ranger's hut when I'm going, because I refuse to pay for the ridiculous drive again there. I'm walking and hopefully hitchhiking, but since so far this road is very unpopulated, so I'm not sure how successful I'm gonna be with that. I might be better off paying ridiculous amount to get there and save myself the rain and everything, but no, we're gonna try to save the money, and if it doesn't work, we're gonna figure another thing. Yeah, I couldn't afford to travel for 6 months straight if I give away money easily. Try to save always. Anyway, yeah, so now I'm here. Then when I got there, I think I'll have to pay again for the registered guide. It's mandatory. And then for the homestay you have to pay because you have to sleep there. It's also mandatory. And tomorrow morning I'm hiking it. But because I think it's all gonna be worth it, because here in this mountain they say you can see the ocean of clouds. So if you, oh, maybe this guy will pick me up. It looks ridiculously full. Stop. No, it's ridiculously, completely full. I guess they could squeeze me in, but they just don't want to, even though they're the nicest people in the world. No, I'm kidding. They're pretty nice. Okay. So, yeah, because here it's apparently when you hike to the top for the sunset, so I'll probably have to wake up in the middle of the night, but it's gonna be worth it because I'll see the ocean of clouds. So it's like a mountain peak on the top and then the ocean of clouds all around it. And it's supposed to be like one of the most spectacular mountains anywhere really in the world, they say. So hopefully it's gonna be worth it. This is gonna be my second highest peak of my life so far. The number one would be in the Panama volcano called Baru, which was 3,500 meters, and this one is very nearly 3,000 meters, but it's not a very difficult hike as far as I understood. So I think I'll be good with no training or nothing. Yeah, so we're doing that. That's gonna be my first week adventure here in the Philippines, because I arrived in Manila, and Manila is the most scorching, painfully hot place on earth. It's like 36 degrees in the shade, and it's high humidity, so it's just like painfully terrible. So that's why I came north. Yeah, this mountain is gonna be great, even though it's ridiculously expensive. Hiking here is like the sport of the rich. It's 30 minutes past midnight now. So yeah, very early in the morning. We start in the hike at 1. So I just woke up. It's pitch black obviously outside. I slept in full clothing because it's very cold here, especially for the Philippines. Yeah. It's gonna be all worth it. It's 1:55 currently, so yeah, we're not going anytime soon apparently. I knew this gonna happen, but I was still ready at 1, of course, before 1, because that's what I do. But here, not, no, people are not. I knew we're gonna be much later, so yeah. At 1, when we were supposed to go, there were some girls that decided they're gonna. They started preparing some soup, and then at about 1:30 we start eating that soup, which was actually really good. But it's like, let's eat, guys. 30 minutes after we're supposed to go, and now everybody's kind of getting ready, and we had a really good dinner last night, but nobody really bothered to clean anything up. I think that is also pretty standard here. I'm kind of used to it by now, by 6 months in Southeast Asia, but still a bit funny. It's all gonna be worth it. All these little lights are people climbing up. Many people are coming. I just arrived at the peak here. You can see the red sun just rising above. When it was just starting to rise, it was like a colors I've never seen before, like a pinky, very gentle, like a sky blush. So when the sun rises, probably about 10 minutes, we're gonna see hopefully the ocean of clouds, which is the best thing here. It's already starting to set, but it's gonna be even better. Whoop. Come on, look at that. And yeah, there's literally a cat on top of this mountain, finding it very comfortable to sit in my backpack. So we're walking down now. Unfortunately, we didn't see the sea of clouds. No, at least not in the best form. Probably not the best weather, and that's okay. Still really cool because they have these grasslands here. We have this in Slovenia. Our mountains are bare rock, mighty white rock, very cool. But this is just different. This is grassland, and this is called apparently the dwarf bamboo, and it only grows on this mountain and nowhere else on earth, by the way. And here we already see the different type of forest, the mossy forest, exactly like the lady explained on briefing number 2, I believe. I don't know, there were so many briefings even before we started, and even today when we started climbing. It was like 2:30 or something in the morning when we actually started walking. And yeah, the guide started by saying this is gonna be a very important briefing. He did this intro in English, and then the whole very important briefing he continued in Filipino, and I have absolutely no idea what he said. But the amount of training and preparation they do for this is like you're preparing for Everest or something. But it turns out this is like a Sunday walk. It's like an absolute no difficulty whatsoever. It's just like a long walk. No difficult terrain, no stamina required, no experience in hiking, nothing. So this is like the one of the easiest mountains I've climbed in my life, and yet I've did 3 briefings and about 2 video training and medical certificates to prove that I'm capable of doing this extremely difficult hike, and paying for the entrance and paying for the guide. This is definitely by far the most expensive hike I've done. Unfortunately, we didn't have the perfect weather to see the ocean of clouds, but that's okay. It was very nice. Also the sunrise was like red, very cool. This mountain is also called the playground of gods, which is cool. It reminds me of Mount Olympus in Greece, the tallest mountain in Greece, which is also the home of gods in Greek mythology. I remember when I was in Greece, I wanted to climb it, I was preparing for it, but then I didn't, and I'm not sure what was the reason for it. Maybe it was some bad weather or something, but I knew I wanted to do it. Now I kind of regret it. So I never did Mount Olympus, but I did this now, the playground of Filipino gods. So there you have it. I'm now walking on my own in this mossy forest, which is actually strictly forbidden here, without a guide apparently, but I cannot really help it because I have no idea where my guide is. They probably left way before me, because here I changed like 3 groups, because here we walk extremely slow, and then after this extremely slow walk everybody's super tired. Filipino people don't really have any sport in them. I don't know why is that, even though there's like that hike of their lifetime. They prepare, they train for this. Wow, that's so cool. No, the phone doesn't show it, but it's like dark, misty cool. So everyone is super tired after this slow walking, and then after about 20 minutes of walking we take about 40 minutes of pause. So this was too much for me. That's why I just, because there are many groups here, so I just, whenever we came to the resting place and my group would wait for 30 minutes, I would just join the next group who was already going. So I changed a few groups that way. So I'm not sure which is supposed to be my guide now, but that's okay. Even when I wanted to climb the mountain in my guest house, where when they asked me about the guide and said no, I just climb it myself, and I was like, wow, no, you cannot do that. They were like, don't even dream about something so wrong and against the rules. That's really surprised me here about the Philippines, because usually the Europeans, look at that, that's probably so old. Usually the Europeans, like German people, are very strict with the rules. Everything has to be exactly as they say. And Southeast Asia is complete opposite. No, nothing is by the rules here. It's complete chaos. The Philippines, it's pretty much chaos, but somehow some nonsense things have to be very strictly, very strictly in order. So what I'm doing now, I think it's very illegal, but I cannot really help it. Yeah, that's what I was saying when I was when we were going to the top. My group was perfectly happy with being on like near to the top, which is not really near to the top because there's one peak higher. And I obviously wanted to go to the top of the mountain, but it required like 30 minutes more walking because it was quite far away. Not much more up, but just far away, and everybody just stayed there, and I just wanted to go to the actual peak, to actually hike this mountain. And then none of the guys really wanted to do it because they were super tired. And then like one of the lady agrees, okay, I'm gonna take you there. But then about 10 minutes in, she couldn't take it anymore. She was just so I just went, me and another girl from my group went by ourselves up there, and then I just met so many people there and I talked with them for hours probably. That is why my group was long gone. They're probably already back at the guest house. Yeah, that's okay. So I still have to probably pay this guide because yeah, yesterday this raid place when I'm supposed to get a guide was already closed. So I just joined a group with a guide, and I probably still have to pay for that. Yeah, Filipinos charge for everything, and everything is expensive, so it's double expensive. Yeah, I'm gonna do some volunteering here in the Philippines, otherwise I'll go bankrupt very quickly. There goes my plans for the next 8 months of traveling. Also, Philippines have these big financial problems, so it's not just expensive for me as a visitor, it's very expensive for the people who live here also, because they I've been told they only earn about 250 euros or something per month, which is about the same as Indonesia, but everything here is about 5 times more expensive than Indonesia. So I don't know how these people live. Well, not very good. It's a lot of poverty here. Yeah, I don't know what went wrong in this country financially, but something went very wrong. So yeah, it's difficult place to live. And like I mentioned before, how expensive the hiking here is. When people in Europe maybe save money for the next vacation, I talked to a guy here. So people who like climbing here save money for the next hike. That's how expensive hiking here is. That, yeah, just crazy. And actually that's probably the reason also why people aren't hikers here. When I now just think about it, when I was wondering before why people are so slow, don't really know how to hike, they can't because it's such an expensive thing. So they only hike maybe like once in their lifetime. Maybe they could afford like one hike before that in their whole life. No wonder that there are no hikers. And we support hiking and activity, going outdoors, but everything here, doing everything healthy, natural outdoors, it's highly chargeable. So made it out of that city, out of that mountain town. Yesterday when I tried to pay for the guide, they also invented 2 fees on the spot. It was an environmental fee and the track maintenance fee or something. So just 2 random fees on the spot. Because it was bullshit, I refused to pay it, and they knew it was bullshit, so they said, okay, so just pay for the guide. They just want to scam you everywhere here. But don't give in, don't pay anything. Even it wasn't a lot of money, but you support this scamming and it's not the best. But today I'm here in the Baguio, where I'm staying for the first time in an actual slum. So this should be pretty exciting.